Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the NFL Sunday Morning Show for Week 9. I'm here with my guys, Football Talk with Bo, Nikki Steves, and I'm sure James will pop in momentarily. So what is up, guys, and what is up to Normal Guy? How's it going, bro? How's it going, guys?
Good, good. How about you?
Smooth.
Good, good. I don't have to rant about my Sixers right now, which is nice. So that is very, very good for me. What's up, James?
Hey,
What's up, fellas?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Nice to have a bye week. I don't have any stress today for once.
Yeah. Right, right. Good for you. Just got to watch football, right?
got me
Yeah.
right.
There you go. Roll Tide. Oh God. But in food today. Yep. So James, I gotta ask you, man, what do you do during the bye week? You just watch Red Zone or just regular games that are on? What do you watch?
Yeah, I'll catch a little bit. We'll see what's on the local feeds around here. I probably won't spend as much time as normal watching football because, I don't know, give the girlfriend a little quality time today.
That's fair, man. That's
It's a
fair.
good day to earn brownie points and help her out around the house.
That's right.
There you go. There you go. Actually, Nikki, let's start with you, man. Who are your winners from last week?
My three winners from last week, I'll go with teams. I mean, the Eagles, even though it was the Cincinnati Bengals, but you finally started building momentum. You're playing up to your potential 2 straight weeks. Now you got momentum on your side. You're even minus 7.5 point favorites against the Jaguars now. So you finally things are actually starting to look up in your direction. So that's a big win there. You didn't have any turnovers. Your defense got a few stops. So all around, nice performance in a favorable situation. There's one winner. I was
Yeah.
gonna go with the Cleveland Browns, but is it really a win? Let's see. I'll go with Detroit Lions. They're just continuing to decimate everyone in their way. They're showing that they're the favorites in the NFC. So at this point, the Super Bowl favorites hands on. And unless the 49ers start to get healthy late in the season, they start to catch up and win their division. As of now, the Lions are the odds on favorites to clinch a Super Bowl berth and clinch their first in franchise history. So big up for the Detroit Lions after years of either mediocrity or crap. Now, finally, they're looking like a real team.
Right.
Because even in the Barry Sanders era, they didn't do that. They were just
Correct.
had a great running back, but that's a win right there. And the Washington Commanders, lucky or not, you keep finding ways to win games. Granted, Jaden Daniels didn't have the greatest performance, but to be fair, he's playing hurt. Just the fact he actually went out there and played and helped to the best he could, that's at least a good step. And you find a way to win. That's all that matters in the NFL. And for the Commanders, it's long overdue for them.
Yeah, even though they did get lucky with a Hail Mary. That is all I'm
Hey,
gonna say about that. So,
win games. And at least their quarterback actually gutted it out, unlike a quarterback we were just talking about that I'm sure we're going to talk about. But
yeah, we're gonna talk about that earlier. Yeah,
I got to
later.
give Jaden Daniels props for at least playing through his injury.
Yeah. All right, James, you're up, man. Who are your winners from last week?
Big winners, I'm going to go Jameis Winston for his first one. He probably should have been starting about week 3 this season.
Correct.
And the Browns' whole season would be completely different, in my opinion, had they done that. They might not have even traded Amari Cooper away because he probably would have looked good with a competent quarterback. So Jameis probably going to make himself a lot of money because he's going to look just good enough that somebody's going to want to pay him at least 15 or 20 to be a high-end backup or maybe even one of those teams that's not so sure about their starting quarterback situation and might want to start him half a season. I think he's going to make himself some money, so he's definitely a winner. I agree with Nick as far as the Lions. How can that not be a winner? Putting up 52 points. It seems like this is a regular thing for them, going over 40 now on the season, over and over and over. Just a well-oiled machine. And how can you not have them as the favorites in the NFC? I couldn't agree with Nicky more on that one. They just look incredible right now. And maybe the pass rushing duo for the Steelers. I'll go Homer for my final one. Big win for those two guys. Alex Highsmith had 2 sacks. TJ Watt had 2 sacks. Also had a forced fumble and fumble recovery in the game. These two were just dominant. I want to say Alex Highsmith had something crazy like 7 or 8 quarterback pressures in the game too. Just really returning to form since being out most of the season with an injury. He's come back looking better than he's looked before, which is really dangerous for upcoming opponents. With Nick Herbig coming back off a hamstring injury as well, they're back to probably having a potent threesome on that outside pass rushing situation, which is really needed with this upcoming schedule after this bye week.
Yeah, Bo.
Yeah, so I got to go with the Bills. They're looking very like a very complete team. Obviously, they come off a week where they beat the brakes off my Seahawks. So I mean, there was that. I'm going to go with the Chargers. The Chargers are quietly, kind of looming in the background, but they're playing good football. And as everybody's gotten healthier, they keep playing better and better. So not that they necessarily beat up on a great opponent, but again, they're winning games. So they're just one of those kind of under the radar teams for the AFC. And then I got the Eagles. The Eagles are continuing to look better each week. It looks like they're finally figuring some stuff out. So I like where the Eagles are headed. I left the Lions off because everybody tagged in on them, and I mean they're just crushing everybody. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I just have to give a quick shout out to the Lions because they actually built a team from the ground up. One season they didn't even win a game, and now arguably they're the best team in the whole league.
Yeah.
So I just have to give a shout out to the Detroit Lions on that. So maybe one episode we'll talk about the Detroit Lions as a whole. But for me, I gotta go with the Eagles, man. We're on a winning streak right now. We're looking good. Jalen Hurts is actually doing his thing. I'm still kind of shocked by that. But 2. I'm gonna go with the Commanders here, even though there was a Hail Mary, the luckiest thing in the world. Jaden Daniels is playing like a Rookie of the Year. He's my pick for Rookie of the Year right now. I don't know about you guys, but that is mine. And 3, I'm going to go a little bit outside the box here. The fans. Just because we're witnessing the Cowboys struggle every single game now. That's us. We're the winners for game 3 for this week. So, yep. And then who are the losers for next week? Nikki, we're going to start with you. Go back around.
I'll start kind of leading off what you finished with, that being the Cowboys. I understand the 49ers have had their number, but you're talking about an injury-riddled 49ers team that's been inconsistent. You thought maybe this would be the Cowboys' one opportunity to beat them, at least get one over on a Niners team that's had their number. But nope, the Niners still have their number, and they beat them again, even less than 100%. Now, to be fair, the Cowboys are missing a few pieces, but you would think on paper, if Dak's as good as advertised, they would at least find a way to win, but they didn't. And now they're in a deeper hole and a lot more questions about not just this season, but their long-term future as well. That's a big L for them right there. Now, this one, kind of iffy, but I'll say the Vikings because even though they lost, and granted, they're 5-0, but they've lost 2 straight. But at the same time, we've seen this before with the Vikings. Does this sound familiar? 6-0. The Paul Allen Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoff soundbite. 5-0 with Bradford, 8-8 finish. We've seen this happen before with the Vikings on numerous occasions. So it kind of feels like deja vu to me, like, uh-oh, here we go again with the Vikings. They're about to blow it. And granted, now I'm not going to solely blame the face mask because what about their inability to shut down the Rams offense? You could also blame that as well. I'm not going to solely put it on one play. So there's another loser there. I mean, the last one, I'll have to go with the Jets. I mean, they were already done, but losing to the Patriots. I know they won on Thursday against the Texans, but still.
Yeah, we're talking about last week, so yeah,
but
good call there.
The Patriots, that you put you at 2-6. even after Thursday, you're at 3-6, and you're in a competitive conference. Good luck with that one.
Well, our crew, before James, before you go, before you say your thing, our crew here, he's a Dallas Cowboys fan, so just get used to the comments like this every now and again. So for me, I can't agree with you more, our crew. I cannot agree with you more there. So, James, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go a lot of similar stuff to normal, but before I go there, I agree with Nick on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs isn't coming to save him this year, so
No.
no Pasternaut coming around the corner here. But losers for last week for me, I'm going to start with the Cincinnati Bengals. They really had a roll going on, and then just get steamrolled by your Eagles, Mitch. I'm grateful for the Eagles for doing it, knocking them off their pedestal. A lot of people were saying the Bengals were going to catch up to Pittsburgh and pass them, and that's going to pacify that for at least a week. You love to see it. In the other categories of you love to see it, the Ravens having a meltdown versus the Browns, dropping,
Yep.
what I understand, about 4 or 5 interceptions in the game. So especially one right before the game-winning touchdown being allowed. Tyler Hamilton dropping one in the back of the end zone there. You got to come up with those plays. So very uncharacteristic for them, but it doesn't not make them a loser for the week. Beyond that, third one, let's go Saints, huh? Only struggling to put up 8 points. They're looking like a pretty pathetic team out there lately. So you got to throw them in the losers category as well.
All right. Bo.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta start this off with the Cowboys. Talk about dysfunction. I mean, you can't beat up on a Niners team that is just riddled with injuries. Like, I understand they have a couple of their own, but man, talk about a bad showing. I knew this team was going to take a step back. I didn't realize they were going to take a step back to the early 2000s where they were an 8-8 team. But next would be the Bengals for me. They're not that team, right? They don't play defense. And if they aren't, if they're not right there with you in the beginning, they fall apart. So realistically, they almost have to run the table to have a shot. So the Bengals look like they're going to be a pretty good disappointment this year. And then, of course, the Ravens. The Ravens, losing that game to the Browns wouldn't mean that much if they just decided not to run the ball. Right. So
Right.
now you're looking at coaching issues. So it's not the better team won, Jameis had a day, whatever. Right. Instead, you're looking at the fact that Derrick Henry had 11 rushes.
Oh,
What are we doing? Like, how is the best rushing team in the league just forget to use their running back in the 3 losses they have? Derrick Henry has less than 20 carries in each one of those losses. I feel like there's a pattern that maybe these smart NFL guys should notice if us analysts are seeing this exact thing. So the Ravens as a coaching staff catches this L, and they better figure it out because it's something that can keep them out of the playoffs if they're not careful.
Mm-hmm. So for me, the first one, Cowboys. I'm telling you, each time they lose, they're gonna be mine. It's dysfunctional, hilarious. Can't wait for them to lose again. So that's one. 2, I'm gonna go with the Bengals here. I was starting to have high hopes for them, and then they just crumbled down. Oh no, it's the same thing week after week with them. And 3, damn. I'm actually stuck here. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I'll go with the Ravens. How does that team lose to the Browns and Jameis Winston? That's just mine. So, for the Ravens, yep. Some say they were protecting Henry from Garrett to keep him for the season.
I don't buy into this. So,
I don't either.
I've heard
No,
this theory,
what?
but the thing is double team him then. Like, if he's that scary, run him the other way, double team Garrett. Like, you don't have to run him into him. Right? Like, the field is 50 yards wide. I'm pretty sure you can find a path that doesn't have Garrett in it.
And I don't think Derrick Henry's scared of Myles Garrett for 1 second.
Not at all.
Let him run at him. I bet he runs him over. You look at Myles Garrett's numbers, he excels as a pass rusher, but not as a run defender.
Yep.
So I don't know why you would be scared to run at Myles Garrett unless you're worried about him taking a cheap shot.
Yeah, and he's not that kind of player, right? Like he's
not anymore.
He's not that Sue kind of guy who's gonna like stomp on you. It's well,
No,
I mean,
he would never.
well, he wouldn't do it to a guy that could probably take him down.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
doing
right
it to
there.
Mason Rudolph.
Right. Right.
I'll give him credit. He's cleaned up his act since that.
Not by much, but let's stick to the Ravens because they just made a trade for wide receiver Deontay Johnson. Like out of nowhere, they just get Deontay Johnson up. I don't understand that. So let's start with Nikki here. How do you feel about the trade?
I feel like it's kind of a cop-out for what happens losing to the Browns and not relying on Derrick Henry in that game. I mean, it does add another weapon. I guess for Deontay Johnson, it's good. He gets to get out of Carolina and go to a better situation, but his statistical numbers aren't going to be as good considering Baltimore still has guys like Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and the run game with Derrick Henry and Lamar scrambling. So I guess for him, it's good from a team perspective. From an individual perspective, his numbers aren't going to be as hot. And like I said, for the Ravens, I think it's kind of a cop-out for the fact that they didn't play their best game play calling-wise, like I said. So it seems kind of odd.
The passing game isn't where they had a problem.
Right? It's not. It's not. James, how do you feel about the trade?
First off, I'd like to say you mispronounced his last name. It's Deontay Dropson.
Okay.
That's what he was known for his first 2 years as a Steeler. He had one season with 18 dropped passes. Then he seemed to clean it up a little bit. And then he only dropped the ball on 3rd down, 4th down, and in the end zone. He was great on 1st and 2nd down. It's a very frustrating thing when you're a fan that watches over and over and even kind of sometimes watches a game a second time to see where does my team fail. You see it over and over in clutch situations. He's an extremely good route runner. Throw it to him on 1st and 2nd down. It'll be successful. Don't do it in clutch situations because for whatever reason that gene missed him in the pool.
Hey.
I mean, so my issue. I mean, obviously he does have some drops. More so earlier in his career than later, but. The biggest thing for me is the giving up on plays, which is something the Steelers noticed just before they got rid of him. There were plenty of plays that he just didn't participate in. It's like, oh, the play isn't coming my way. I'm not even really going to do anything. The Bengals game comes to mind more than anything else. He's out there. He doesn't even engage his block that he's supposed to. The ball gets fumbled. The guy he was supposed to be blocking picks it up. He turns his back to the play. Guy takes off running. Not even in the play. He found a way to be out of the play multiple times in the same play. It was amazing. So hopefully that's not what the Ravens get. But for a 5th rounder and a guy that's going to be their 4th option, I don't think it matters that much. That he's going to be an outlet guy. It's one of the few passes he can catch. So I think he'll be a decent fit there. But let's be honest, the passing game isn't where they were struggling. It's as soon as they get cute and stop running the ball, that's when they lose games. Adding a receiver isn't going to help that.
Yeah. And when I saw the trade, I was just like, that's out of left field. That's just way out of left field. The same division. Other than that, I don't think it gets him over the hump, though. I don't see him actually taking the next leap. So I'm just like, it is what it is at this point. It is what it is.
It's kind of a giveaway too, Mitch. When you look at it, the Panthers are acquiring the 5th round pick and giving up a 6th. It could only be a difference of like 10 or 15 selections in the draft with how bad the Panthers are expected to be and how good the Ravens typically are and how well they usually finish.
Yep.
So it was dang near a giveaway and a pick swap when you really look down to the nuts and bolts of it.
I like this. Maybe he should have went to the Bears. He'd be a culture fit. You know, would it be the Bears or would it be the Colts because they just had their quarterback give up?
Oh, true.
Right. That is a good one. You know what's not so good though? It's actually kind of funny, but it's not good. Anthony Richardson benched for Joe Flacco. I'm just sitting here
gosh.
like, Nikki, kicking us off, bro.
Oh my! This is Tara. This is sad for the Colts. You drafted a guy who a lot of people thought was going to be the top QB entering the 2023 draft. Then this is what you got. Year one, he was in and out of the lineup due to injuries. There were moments where he flashed brilliance. However, it didn't work. It didn't work out as planned because he ultimately missed most of the season due to injuries. And now this year he comes back. He's playing inconsistent. He missed a few weeks. And then he all of a sudden randomly opts out of a game due to being tired at the most random point. It's like, well, dude, what is this? Like, this seems like what is this, a sitcom or an episode of The Twilight Zone? Like, seriously, that's what it feels like. And now they got to rely on Joe Flacco. I mean, you hope he has some of that magic from last season, but in the long term, all it's going to do is put you in the middle of the first round. And what do you do with that? And even now, what do? You got Anthony Richardson still under contract. Good luck. How much longer does he have on his contract? Does anyone know?
2 years.
Mm-hmm. 2 more, yeah.
So you're stuck with that contract because I doubt you're going to find someone willing to trade. I mean, maybe the Panthers. But on a serious note, though, who's going to want that contract now? So you're stuck with them for 2 more years. And Flacco, what? Even if he comes in one season, does decent, gets you to 9-8, like you were last year? That's just saying more about the team around you. They got a solid team. These guys are system guys. So it's not a good look at all.
No.
It's just
James?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. If the guy's going 10 for 32 in a game, you definitely need more accuracy and a higher completion percentage to expect to win a large chunk of your games. But boy, is that a tough look giving up on a guy after 10 starts. How do you even try to salvage his career at this point? If it's something that can be coached, if it's something that can be corrected with footwork, or maybe just seeing the field better, more tape study. He didn't have a lot of starts in college, too. It was like 8 starts in college before coming to the pros. So it feels like a project where, you knew he was going to be really, really raw. You give him 10 starts, and after 10 starts, it's not good enough. Man, I get it, but at the same point in time, man, why'd you throw him out on the field that early then?
So the thing about that is, you're right. It's 10 starts. He wasn't playing well. He didn't get a lot of starts in college. He got drafted as high as he did because of an amazing pro day, right? Like his pro day was off the charts, which you would hope so because there's no defense. Like you should show out on a pro day.
Yeah.
That being said, his completion rate wasn't what got him benched. It was giving up on the play and then not having the courtesy to at least lie about it. Like you come out to the press conference, be like, oh, I had a tweak in my shoulder. I had to come out for a minute. Like that would have been fine. But you'd come out and be like, yeah, damn, I was tired. Cool. Yeah, you're getting benched. Like that. There's just no getting around it. I mean, if it's a receiver or a running back that just did a couple of go routes, I get it. You tap out because you're like, I just ran 400 yards. Like I need a second. This guy ran around for 30 yards, took a decent hit, but that's it. Plus, you're the general of this team. You're supposed to be the leader. This is a 3rd down. Like you can't tap out on a 3rd down. Like you got to try and go get that thing. So no, I mean it's a bad look overall. But it wasn't that he got benched for his completion percentage. Like they know that he's a developmental guy, right?
Yeah.
But if you also give up, yeah, then it's a wrap.
Right. For me, this is how I look at it, right? Anthony Richardson was kind of like a running quarterback to an extent compared to Joe Flacco. Jonathan Taylor should be happy. It's like, hey, I'm going to get the ball now. I'm going to get the ball more. Is he actually playing or is he injured?
So he should be in this game, but he
Because
has been
I got him
injured a
in
lot.
fantasy, so I got to know.
Yeah, no, you may double check because I know he's still kind of banged up, but I think he's supposed to play. But I mean, he has missed time this year.
He's supposed to be playing tonight against Minnesota.
Yeah.
How is that the Sunday night game? The Eagles and Jaguars got flexed for the Colts and the Vikings.
That was
Let's
a weird
talk about
flex.
Yeah, let's talk about that really quick. That's not
Yeah.
on the docket, but how do you guys feel about that? Like, to me, it was just like the Vikings have been losing. The Colts just lost their quarterback, and like, I don't understand it. Nikki, how do you feel about this game being flexed?
I'm trying to figure out. I'd like to sit down with the league executives and have an interview where I can ask them, what was the purpose of flexing the game? What did you accomplish by it? Because I mean, I get that the Eagles Jaguars wasn't as interesting, but if you were going to flex it, at least flex it for a game that would be more worthy of prime time. The Colts Vikings isn't really doing it. Like, I get the Rams and Seahawks because at least that could be a competitive game and there is a history between the teams. Not the best solution in the world, but I could at least understand.
Lions Green Bay should have been the night game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or that one. That's the perfect flex.
I agree with
Or even
that.
Broncos Ravens, they're both 5-3 and really in the mix of the hunt, you know?
Absolutely.
There were a lot of better choices.
Well, this is good for me and Eagles fans. I don't have to stay up late for the game now. I get to 4 o'clock to 7. I'm good. I'm good. I don't have to do any more. I can just relax and watch this Sunday night game and fall asleep to that. So,
You know, actually, as bad as the Sunday night game has been, because for whatever reason, it's actually just kind of been terrible games.
Yeah.
Why not just keep the trend going? Go Patriots Titans.
There we go.
I mean, it's probably still competitive. It'll just be an ugly game.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you guys gonna watch this game? I don't know if I am, honestly. I might watch basketball.
Which one?
The Sunday night game tonight.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll watch it.
I don't know if I am.
These shows not to watch all the games. So
Right.
it's one of those. Otherwise, I show up and I look like an idiot. They're like, "Oh, what about this game?" Be like, "Yeah." So let me look at some stats real quick.
I mean, honestly, dude, I'm going to be doing at 9:30. I'm going to be doing a live stream recapping the Eagles game. So I'm not really going to be watching the night game.
Yeah. Right. James, you're gonna be watching this?
Rob,
Well,
Rob,
maybe
saying,
I'll
"Get her
catch
out
a little
here."
bit. There's no way in heck I'm committing to watching all of that, but I might catch a little.
I don't know. This has
I
just
like
caught me
Rob
off guard.
It's like, oh, he's burying the Eagles, gonna lose in a trap game to the Jags.
Yeah. Right. What is up, Vic? In my opinion, every AFC North matchup should be on primetime. That's a good point. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week.
I
How do you
don't
guys
know
feel
if
about that?
Bengals Browns is really prime time right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we.
I
Need
mean,
this.
I'll take that over this game. I'll take that over this because there is a rivalry there.
But I would take the NFC North if anything.
Yeah.
Because all of those teams.
Oh,
Well, there
wow.
we go. I was going to say the AFC North. I'm like,
Yeah.
The
I
NFC
mean, maybe
North-
the NFC North. Vic, did he mean the AFC North or NFC North? He'll be like, oh, NFC North, sorry. But, yeah. This game is a weird flex. So let's just get right into the games for the predictions. We're right here. We don't have to talk about this game, which I got wrong. We don't need to see that.
Yeah, I got
I think we all got that game. Nope, he meant the AFC North.
it. All right.
Okay. All right. So, Nikki, we're going to start with you and go up. Falcons, Cowboys at Atlanta.
I'll take the Falcons in this one.
Okay. James?
I'll go the same. Dallas looks pretty pitiful lately. I wish it would have started earlier in the season when they played the Steelers, but for whatever reason, they decided to play well then. I'll go Falcons.
So, if you guys keep your records, yeah, my record is right here, 81-43 right now. So, the Pick'ems just keeps track of my record. So, I'm like, all right, wherever I'm at. So, all
Yeah,
right.
I post mine on my Twitter X or whatever the hell we're calling it each week.
Yeah. So, James, who'd you pick again? I'm sorry?
I went Falcons.
Okay. Bo.
Also Falcons. I haven't seen anything out of this Dallas team that makes me think they can beat anybody now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Atlanta, aka the Falcons. My friend calls him that, so whenever I call him that, he gets happy. So
Hey,
I'm gonna.
he's not the only one. Desert Eagle 90 and plenty of others do that.
Yeah. Thanks, Bo. If I had X, I would have checked it out. Yeah. Yeah. What is your record, Bo? What is your record
right
for?
I am 78-45, I think.
Oh, okay. So you're like right there with me.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Yeah. Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott, what is going on with that real quick? Did he get suspended or something?
Oh, I didn't even hear that. Is that I mean, not that it
Something.
matters. He rushes for like 10 yards a game.
I know, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just like curious what exactly. Let me go on Ian Rappaport real quick on Twitter.
I don't know. Go for it.
Won't have Ezekiel Elliott today due to disciplinary reasons, while the Giants will continue to start Daniel Jones. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
And what's that last part about Daniel Jones?
Oh no, it's Ian Rappaport.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, why
So
that?
for me, I'm going with the Falcons here.
Yeah.
So next up, I'm going with Buffalo. I'm gonna go with Buffalo here. I think it's whenever we're like last week, you guys remember we were so sure about some of these games, and then went the other way. I'm like, we can't be so sure in these picks anymore.
I tried to warn you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
exactly.
I still jumped onto the favorites, but I tried to warn you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Dolphins have Tua back, so this is a bit of a revenge game. You have to wonder. I mean, this week I'm looking at there could be several upsets. Browns and Chargers, with the Browns having a different look. This game could be even the Colts and Vikings, just based off the Vikings' consecutive losses in their history in these situations. There's several games that could be upsets in this week. I feel like you got to pick at least
Did
one.
the Dolphins just randomly find a defense or something? Like, what are we talking about right now?
I think it's a magic of Tua. Tua's back. Let's play.
Right.
The
Who do
only
you
magic
have?
Tua's got right now is he's seeing things on the field that isn't there. So
Bo, who you got?
I mean, I got Buffalo because they have a defense and their offense can score with the Dolphins. So, I mean, if you're looking at a more complete team, it's the Bills.
Yep. All right, James.
yeah, I think it's an easy one. I'm with Bo on this. I'm with you on this, Mitch. The Dolphins have to show something before I'm going to start picking them because they haven't shown anything yet. That doesn't mean Tua's not going to start playing well again. He's got the potential to do so, but my only concern in this game is, are the Bills players going to be hesitant to really hit him when given an opportunity after seeing what happened before?
All right, Nikki, you got Bills too?
I mean, I'm leaning toward them because there's the better overall team, but I don't know. This might be the time of an upset, and that's an interesting point that the Bills players might be a bit hesitant after the last time. For factor that they were there when it happened, and they themselves dealt with a near tragedy on the field a few years ago, and a lot of the players are still there. They remember that night, and they remember the last game. This could be upset alert though too. I'm gonna go with the Bills though. I do feel like
That was a lot
spoiler
of
alert.
build-up to still take the Bills.
Spoiler alert. I'm gonna go with my upset. I'm gonna go with the Browns over the Chargers as my upset.
Well, that's not the next game.
You can skip me on that one. But since
Alright.
I'm still running my mouth, I'll take the Bengals on this one.
All right, James, who you got?
Yeah, it should be pretty cut and dry. I think bounce back game for the Bengals. They ought to be a little upset, and they're at home. So Cincy should win this pretty easily, I think.
All right,
Yeah,
Bo.
this is going to be a terrible game. The Raiders have nothing. I mean, they get rid of Devontae. They bench Minshew for O'Connell, and then O'Connell gets hurt, and they bring Minshew back in, and there's just too much chaos around this team. The Bengals are coming on. They don't play defense, but the Raiders don't have an offense, so that works out. The Bengals.
Grega, I'm streaming the Eagles game, of course. Like, what other game would I be streaming? What other game? But yeah, I'm going with the Bengals here. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I said this before, I say it again. The Raiders fan base is so funny whenever A, they lose, B, whenever the Chiefs do something good, or 3, they just want attention. So I'm just saying the Raiders fan base is hilarious. Next up. All right. I'm going with Chargers here. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Self-explanatory. Bo.
Yeah, I like the Chargers here. I think the Winston thing was more of a one-off than anything else. The Browns is a good team, right? On paper, their roster is great. But, man, they just really can't seem to figure out how to get it going. And, even last week, beating the Ravens, they shouldn't have, right? The Ravens kind of gift-wrapped that to them. And this Chargers team is better than people think it is. So I like the Chargers here on the road.
All right. Nikki,
Yeah.
I already know you predicted this. So,
You could probably skip me on it, but I'm still going to go anyway.
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like long day.
You're good. You're good. I feel like you usually get that one game bump with the backup quarterback where he's good for the first game, and then the next game it comes back down to reality. So let's go Chargers on this one.
And it's not the playoffs, so the Chargers can still win.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not December yet either.
Yep. All right. I'm going to go with Nikki, then back up. Nikki, who you got?
In this one, I'm going with the Patriots.
James?
I don't like either one of them. I guess I'll take the Titans on this one just to take an underdog.
Wow. I mean, it is the garbage bowl, no doubt. I'm gonna go Patriots here. It's gonna be terrible football. Even though I try and watch most of the games all the way through, this will be a red zone edition.
Yeah.
And that means I'm gonna see 10 minutes of this at best because that's how much red zone they're gonna be in.
All right. So for me, Drake May is probably out. He's got a concussion. I'm still going with the Patriots. Still going with the Patriots here. And whoopee! The game I really could care less. Oh my god. Anyone going Giants here?
Gosh.
Not a chance. No.
Anyone going Panthers here?
No.
Well, especially because Carr is supposed to be back. If Derek Carr actually gets the start, this will be an ugly game. If it's still, I don't know why I'm mind blanking his name.
Is it Penix?
No, for the Saints, it's oh man, why am I mind blanking?
Bryce Young?
That's a
No.
Panther.
That's that's a Panther.
Rattler. There we go.
That's a
Yes,
Rattler.
that's a Rattler. I don't know why I was mind blanking that. If it's Rattler, then man, this will be a very tight game, albeit ugly, but it'll be very competitive. If Carr gets the start, Saints win easily.
I'm still going with the Saints. I don't got Carolina at all. Anybody going with the Panthers?
No.
I mean, can you even think of a game that they win the rest of the way?
What's the rest of their schedule looking like?
A bunch of losses.
Yeah, right. Like they're playing NFL teams. Like it doesn't matter who's on it.
Yeah.
They're a D2 school at best.
That's actually a good question. Who had the Commanders at 7-2 midseason?
Yeah,
Not
they have some crappy teams left. They've got the Giants, and okay, yeah, that's really about it. Otherwise, they're gonna
Well, and even with that, the Giants actually, if I remember right, lead the league in sacks. So
Yeah.
I mean, despite the fact that their offense can't get anything going, they do get home. So if Bryce is back out there, he'll just get beat up.
yeah.
Nikki, I guess you're going with the Saints.
Of course.
Uh,
All right, I guess.
I don't like how much the panel is agreeing, because that usually means we're going to lose a lot of games.
I'm trying to come up with a disagreement, like what James did with the Titans. I'm trying to do something. Anyone going Denver?
I'd
Anybody
love
go-
to, but I'm not gonna. No.
And so this right here is a game that could go either way, and it's going to come down to, does Baltimore actually use the running back? Because if they don't, they lose.
Right.
And unfortunately, that makes it so hard for Pick'em, because it's like, hey, Harbaugh, can we get a picture of the game plan here? Like, are we using Henry today or not? Because it'll make me change my answer.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Ravens.
I think the Ravens play angry today, and I think they win by a large margin.
I'm going with the Ravens.
One thing to keep in mind is this Broncos team does have the second ranked defense in the league, which is impressive when you think of the fact that their offense doesn't spend a lot of time on the field.
That is impressive.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson hasn't been practicing, so I don't think that really matters when you have your guy like Henry.
If you only use him.
This game is actually interesting.
Yeah.
Bears, Cardinals. We're going to start off with James on this and go up.
I think if you're the Bears, you really ought to be ultra focused this week. I'm sure there should have been extra reps and extra laps run in practice for just not even paying attention during a Hail Mary and losing because of it. So I feel like the Bears ought to be ultra focused and win this one.
All right. Bo, who you got?
Yeah, I don't trust I don't trust either team, really. They're both wildly consistent. So I will go the Vegas route and take the home team, because this is probably a pick'em, really. And the Cards, I think, have a couple of things that the Bears will struggle against, mostly Kyler. They haven't really encountered that kind of escapability. So I think this is something where the Bears probably come up short, which is entertaining.
I'm gonna go with Chicago here.
Okay.
That's all pretty much I got, man. That's all I got. I really could care less. Here we go. Anyone going Jacksonville?
God, no.
Thank God this is a 4:00 game or 4:05. Thank God. Here we go. Finally, we got a good game here. I'm gonna go with Detroit, though.
Yeah.
Detroit's the best team in the NFC right now after what they just did last week. So I'm going with Detroit. Bo.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I'm taking the Lions here. Obviously, Green Bay has put together a nice season so far. But, man, when you're talking about a complete team top to bottom, the Lions are that team.
Yeah, I think it's impossible to pick against Detroit the way they're playing right now. They're just incredible on all sides of the field. So whether you're talking offense, defense, special teams, they're just knocking it out of the park. So when you're looking like a juggernaut, you might want to bet on the juggernaut.
Next up, Rams at Seattle. Okay. Bo, we're going to start off with you on this one.
Yeah, so this is a must-win for Seattle. They are at home after an absolute beatdown against the Bills last week. This should be a bounce back game for them. It's really kind of pivotal for both teams, though, because of how tight the race is for the West. Everybody is 4-4 except the Rams because they had a bye week. They're 3-4. Out of this particular game, I would bet whoever the loser is a seller for the Tuesday trade deadline. So this game is incredibly important for both teams. I like Seattle at home.
James.
Yeah, I think Bo's got it. It's a bounce back game for Seattle. They had great momentum at the beginning of the season, and things tailed off. It's time for them to get things back on track, and beating the Rams is a great way to do it.
I think this is a coin flip for me.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Hey, Siri, heads or tails?
Want me to flip it?
Heads. I'm going with the Rams.
There you go.
There you go. I got Rams. And Sunday night game.
Yeah, so Jay, it is because the Rams are the healthier of the two teams. The Hawks have a ton of people on the injury report. That's why all the money is going towards the Rams.
Yeah. But but we always lose to the Rams at home. That is true. I think we're all going Vikings here.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Vikings.
And you're right. We do lose to the Rams at home. So that is a true statement there, Rob. But this has to change for him because otherwise this season gets away from him.
Yeah. Monday night game.
No, I mean, that's the easiest pick because Tampa Bay doesn't have any receivers.
And Kansas City still has Hopkins.
Yeah. They lose a guy. They go trade for somebody for a 6th round pick. There's some crazy shenanigans. It seems like insider trading.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you can't take the Chiefs on this.
Why are all the teams helping KC out? Like, I don't really
Right.
know what's happening here.
Crazy.
I just want to say one thing. Two things, actually. Titans, F you for this. And 2, thank you for A.J. Brown, Titans. That's all I got to say. Like, F you, but thank you. Darnold, just remember, no way to know which version shows up.
I mean, true, but that shouldn't be that close of a game, really.
It's not, dude. It's not. Anyways, that would conclude the NFL Sunday Morning Show. So, James, where can he find you, man?
Steelers by the Lake on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Google, anywhere you find podcasts, we are there.
All right. And Bo?
Yeah, so you can find me right here Sunday mornings on my YouTube channel at Football-Talk. All the socials, Football Talk with Bo, and Roku TV 5 days a week.
There you go. And you guys can find me on the Hardcore Sports Network right here. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe to that. The link tree is in the description. We just hit 1,200 subs over here. Thank you all for the support there. Yeah, you can follow me on YouTube at Mitch Toxie. You can follow me on Stream Punk Entertainment, where my Eagle show, Fly Like an Eagle, is every Thursday at 4 o'clock. So, yes, you can find us anywhere. The links are in the description. With that being said, guys, enjoy your football Sunday, and we'll catch you all next Sunday. Peace, guys. Everyone have a great day.